start again. It's a redskin.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Corgi Town USA podcast. I'm Candy Kemp, owner of Corgi Town USA, and in my lap is Chuckles. And we actually have Kat, our executive producer, remote today.
I am remote today. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and yeah, so we wanted to do this episode. And I am today. I am not Kat, the executive producer, although I am always that. I am Kat, the business coach.
Kat is indeed a business coach, and you are so grateful. We are so grateful that you follow us and you follow Kat as our executive producer. And we are going to talk about her business coaching. So, here at Corgi Town USA, Kat has been wonderful in coaching us on how to move forward so that the most people know about Corgi Town as possible and what we should do in order to take care of our clientele and also bring them relevant content. So, Kat is just her expertise is so appreciated and far and above beyond what I could imagine myself. So, I'm going to interview Kat today, and I have Chuckles in my lap, of course, and then Mortimer and Boogers here, and I think Digby and Wiggin are with you today.
Digby is over there, and Wiggin is in the other room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we got the whole crew.
we
Everybody's going to
got
get
the
their
whole.
education,
That's right.
and we have interviewed quite a few of corgi mom and pop entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs that make corgis their business or dog business. And we've brought on quite a few people that are have independent business. And here at Corgi Town USA, we're very supportive of independent businesses, and we always recommend, if you can, to patronize those businesses. So I want to ask you some questions, Kat, and the first one I want to get to is we know that we have some people that are already actively in business, and we have a lot of great partners and a lot of great people that help us and that we help as much as we can. If someone comes to you and says, I love my corgis, I love my pets, I have an idea for this business, what I want to do. What do you tell them? Like, what do they need to get started? We know that you have, without giving us too many trade secrets, because of course, Kat's a wonderful person that you want to work with. But if they just come to you with the basic question, how should I get started? What do I do first? How do you advise them?
The first thing I think that any business owner should do is get with a business advisor. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna be chock full of promoting things that I work with and I do, but I like Legal Shield, and I know you like Legal Shield. I like Legal Shield. It's a service. It's probably the most affordable for anyone, and it's a legal service. You can go to businessguardians.net, I think it is. But basically, what it is a subscription, and you get to talk to a lawyer. So, why do you want to talk to a lawyer? Well, hi, I'm in a corgi business, and I don't know if I should incorporate or if I should LLC or what I should do. Maybe I should just be, a solo entrepreneur. No, you should not do that because then you're completely exposed. With any business, you have a risk. Not specific, you think, oh well, my business has nothing to do with my corgi seeing other people, so nobody's going to get bit or hurt. Well, what if, let's just say, for example, we've interviewed a few people that have bandanas. Now, what if, heaven forbid, but
Your dog eats the bandana, has to go
your
to the
dog,
vet.
right? So dog eats the bandana. Well, Candy, you chose a material to manufacture your bandanas that is tasty to dogs, and that's why my dog ate it. Okay. Um, so now you need to protect yourself. So number one, figure out how to protect yourself, and do it for the least cost possible, but don't assume. Don't assume that an S corp or a C corp or That's a combination of who's doing your taxes and your lawyer. Mostly it's your lawyer because you're going to protect yourself. That's number one. Number two, and one and two can go hand in hand. Go online, get your business name. I don't know why this happens. I've been interviewed about this a thousand times, and people go, "Why does this occur?" I don't know. It is a conspiracy theory. You sit there and you go to the, whoever you want your website provider to be, whether it's, a big name like a GoDaddy or a HostGator, or I have no affiliate link to them. I'm cheap. They're cheap. The name of the company is namecheap.com. I don't make a penny for saying that, but it's in the name. Anyway, you go there and you type in mycorgibusiness.com and it's available, and you go, oh, great. Let me go do something else and then come back. And for whatever reason, test me on this, people. For whatever reason, you come back the next day and that name is gone.
For the domain name.
The domain name, yes,
Mhm.
thank you. Apparently, I didn't have enough of the coffee. The domain name is gone. So if you see a domain name and you like it or you're thinking about it, get it. It will cost you between $8 and $12. Not the expensive ones, that are $30 or $40, but between $8 and $10. So what if you get, 2 or 3 or 4 domain names the first year? The second year you drop them, don't renew them. But if you've got some ideas, grab the domain name, and always grab the .com if at all possible.
I would venture to guess it's probably not a conspiracy, but just like Google Metrics allows you to look at certain things revolving around your business, I would venture to guess that there are probably some firms out there that monitor if something's been searched
They
and
do. And
purchases
people
them up to sell them to you for a profit. That'd be a great business.
that actually is the business.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory makes for a better podcast. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But actually,
Buzz.
that is the business, is to go out there and monitor what people are looking for.
Yeah, I know that we're here at Corgi Town USA. We have our website, corgitownusa.com. And I probably twice a week or so, I get emails saying corgitown.com is available. Do you want it? And they tend to kind of dang it to me. I already have Corgi Town USA. We have our own branding info. But yeah, to your point, they do look for you. If you're looking for that name and you decide you want it, go ahead and make the investment. That's great advice.
That's the $8 investment. Okay, so now you know how you're going to operate your business. You've got your name. Now you can go ahead.
Yeah.
What you don't need to do is make sure that your logo is perfect, and make sure that your business cards are perfect. And I have two businesses that work in conjunction with each other. Just to give you a hint, the two businesses that work in conjunction with each other. One is Ignite, Attract, Succeed. That is the coaching and teaching arm of my business. And the other is Marketing Success Pros. Now, Marketing Success Pros, I launched with my partner maybe 2 months ago.
Mhm.
And so maybe not even. We decided 2 months ago, and then we launched it about a month ago. I don't have business cards yet. I just barely got the logo done, and we put it up on the website. So what I'm saying is that is not the most important thing. The most important thing is to get out there and start to contact people, whether it be through social media, through actually meeting people. Now that COVID is changing and doing and whatever, and we need to be careful, of course, but actually going out there and meeting people, that is the most important thing. And even if you don't have exactly what you are doing down pat, don't you don't have to talk about it. You don't have to be eloquent about it. You could just say something like, I create fabulous fashions for, pets. I um, I advise people on, where to go for blank for their pets. It could be any number of things.
But start your own scream team. Start your own ground scream team. Mhm.
Yeah. We just recently interviewed somebody who was involved in agility, judged agility, was part of agility, helped to train in agility, but is not an agility trainer. If Eric, the person that we recently interviewed, decides that he wanted to go for agility, he could just say, I work with pet parents and their pets to find the right agility trainer. If we're to be trained, and that's with any business. You may do something and you may not be the right person. Send it off to somebody else.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, you just say, I work with people to help them find this or to help them do this. And then as you develop your business, then you start to refine what you say and what you do.
Well, here's a question I have for you. As we're talking about the Scream team, and I agree, it's very important. Network, network, network. If it's online, if it's in person, tell everyone your value proposition. Let them know what you're working on without the hard sell. Just let everyone know that you're there. And I think that's great advice. But at what point, depending upon your service options and what you're selling, of course, that makes a big difference. But at what point do you have to worry about a non-disclosure agreement versus what your value proposition is and telling, like, how would you kind of delineate that as you're educating the public on what you do without worrying about someone with deeper pockets taking your idea and saying, oh, that's great, I'm going to use it?
There's always somebody with deeper pockets or a different spin, or they think they can do it better, build a better mousetrap out there. Plain and simple. Someone will always be out there. I'm one of those people, not that constantly does it, but my mind is always working. So somebody tells me about what they do, and my mind is immediately, well, how could I do that? How could I do that better? Who do I know that I could help train and build a business to do that? Trust me, people, I don't always do that, but that's just how my mind works. Some people try and do it and they're successful at it. Some people, try to do what you're doing and they fail. There is enough business to go around. Please don't enter the business world with a lack mindset. Know that there is enough business to go around. Know that not everybody loves you and not everybody loves the other person. I know when Digby and I are walking and he goes to approach another person, and you see people are afraid of dogs, unfortunately. You see them go back, or Digby's very, I'm excited, you're a human, or I'm excited, you're another dog, or even a cat or whatever. I tell Digby all the time, not everybody loves you. And he knows that means, okay, I got to calm down. I need to calm down. So not everybody loves you. What do you do better than anybody else? That's what you talk about, what you do better and what problem you solve. As far as a non-disclosure, that's when you start to bring people in to get into the nitty-gritty. You can't go around to a networking meeting going, sign my non-disclosure.
Right.
Sign my non-disclosure. You've got to let people know what you do. So the easiest and safest thing to do is say, you know, how Corgi parents have this problem with their dogs having a little bit of Corgitude and and a little bit of that Corgi side eye that they give you. Well, I help parents to train their Corgis to calm down the Corgitude and not give the Corgi side eye and get into trouble. So there's a problem, and this is what you do better than anyone else. You can train the Corgis and the parents, and there you go. There you have the business. So what do you do better than anybody else?
Know the
Non
pain. Know the
Know
pain.
the pain. Know the pain.
Mhm.
Non-disclosures are for, hey Candy, I need you to do my website, and on the back end of my website is this 4x4 matrix that works this way, this way, this way, and this way. That's when it's this idea of how these things work that you're sharing with somebody else. That's when you need the non-disclosure.
So the vendors and partners that you share trade secrets with, are the ones that you want to protect your intellectual property from. But
Absolutely.
when you are networking, your value proposition kind of goes to everyone because you definitely want to get that word out there, is what I'm hearing.
Absolutely. And again, goes back to, having a legal team there, and don't make it expensive. Don't be hiring the most expensive lawyer out there. I will push again, Legal Shield, but there's a couple of online legal services that are not that expensive, where you can just chat it out with somebody who knows better.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is step 1, seek affordable legal counsel.
Correct.
Be sure that you are legally protected first.
Always.
And second, file what you need to file as far as your incorporation and your name, your domain name. Those are important. And then
Right.
step 3, hit the boots on the ground, scream team. Get online, get through networking, tell everybody you know about what you're doing.
Absolutely. And pick the name is almost a before you speak to the lawyer, because again, if you have the URL, you have everything. If you don't have the URL, that www.yourname.com, if you don't have that, it gets a little crazed. Now, one of my clients has been she's a naturopath, totally different business, operating under a name, a particular name, and has come to find out, for whatever reason, that she can't operate under that name. So she's having to find a new name and rebrand and do all these things. That's not the best option.
No, you're
So
just having to start over. Nobody wants to do
right,
that. Yeah.
exactly. So if you've got a couple of options for names, then you can also speak to the lawyer and say, can I use this name? Can I say these things? Can I use this name? The last thing, or the next thing I want to talk about, especially as you said, get your scream team together, is getting your joint venture partners, getting the people who have the same audience that you're looking for. Everyone who has a pet-centered product or service, especially because Corgi Town USA is a lifestyle brand,
Mm-hmm.
everybody who's got a corgi out there is turning to you. The audience is turning to you for advice or suggestions or ideas. And so the people who have that business are turning to you for promotion. So the next thing I suggest is find a way to be able to create affiliate links.
Make in-kind marketing work for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if I have a big enough audience, or even a small and focused audience, and I say that Candy's podcast is the best podcast ever on the internet,
We hope you think so.
we think so. And you charge people, which everybody out there, we're never charging for you to listen to this amazing information and meet these wonderful people. But let's just say you did. Let's just say you charged $1 a podcast. You want a way to pay me 10 cents a podcast, 10 cents per person who clicked because of what I said. And that gets into a whole technical realm that, we could spend hours and hours on a podcast on how you do that. But if you're selling, these lovely little, my little corgi pendant, right?
The dichroic glass. Yeah.
From
From Fanglastic. Yeah. Fanglastic.
Right. So,
Pet-centric business.
pet-centric business.
Not for pets, but for the pet enthusiast. Yeah.
Exactly. And so you create a copy of your website that is /candy /cat /whoever else is promoting me, so I can say thank you.
You're also supporting that other small business by using your own marketing to let your audience know that this is available. We know you like these types of things in this room, you're a pet enthusiast, you like pet enthusiast products and services, here's our little marketplace as well, where you bring that to the people where they otherwise may not have seen it. So you're really doing a service to the public that way is also.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's all joint venture is. It, make sure you actually like the product or the service that you're joint venturing for. So, if and I don't want to use that. Let me just use a pen. If this pen was broken in half, it would not be to mine and Candy's advantage to tell people who are listening to the podcast, dear listener, dear viewer, that this is the best pen ever if it was broken, if they sent you broken pens. It doesn't make sense for us.
Not a bad idea to quality assurance the product is what I'm hearing first. Yeah.
And on the flip side, it doesn't make sense if I'm the manufacturer of this pen. It does not make sense for me to approach somebody who has a really big audience, but who I hate. Like their voice is nails on a chalkboard, and their disposition is just, oh no. Why are you going to do that?
Recommend someone with good values as well. I think a lot of that is that the core values. So good people want to work with good people, and we want to recommend good people to our people that come to us. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, so, all very important things.
So so that joint venture is super important. Doing that, and Scream Team, you are the number one person on your Scream Team. Do these podcasts, do these interviews, put content out there. Content is king.
Yes.
Write articles, have a blog. Everybody's going to look you up. If somebody's going to do business with you, they're going to look you up. Is your product safe? Does your product work? Is your service any good? Do you know what you're talking about? And the best way to do that is to put out your own content. Yeah, people are going to review you. It's like pulling teeth to get somebody who says nice things about you to your face. It's like pulling teeth to get them to sit down and write a review about you. But if you put content out there, if you put stories about, how my Corgi was, crazed and disobedient and just untrainable, and working with him or her with my Corgi training method, I now have this amazing Corgi that listens to commands and walks next to me without a leash and does whatever he or she does because of my amazing training program. And then you give little tips and tricks to people to do their own training, not enough for them to do it by themselves, but enough for them to try and know that they're going to fail without you.
And that's good advice for the entrepreneur and the non-entrepreneur alike. If someone does a good job, specifically if they're a small business, they really need your boots on the ground, that grassroots lift them up type service of, hey, I'm letting everyone know this is a great product, this is a great service, this is a great person to do business with. That's good advice. Get on, give those good reviews. Now, I do have a question. Yes. While we're talking about starting businesses and entrepreneurship, and I think we're all a little tired about reading the buzzwords we've read over the last couple of years with the pandemic and all of these things going on. But now we're reading about the Great Resignation. And so part of what's happening with that is all of these new businesses coming out that weren't before, because people are saying, I think I want to do my own thing now that things have, my values have changed. I have a different perspective on life than I did pre-pandemic. I want to chase my dreams. I want to start that business. I think, hiring a business coach is a great way to start. But my question for you is, are you seeing sort of a common, I don't want to say problem, but we talked about seeing the pain as you're seeing people who before you've worked with entrepreneurs for many years, but now we're having a new crop of entrepreneurs. And these are people that haven't thought about it. I think many entrepreneurs have over several years decided that they wanted to do a specific thing and have put their efforts into that. But now we have these brand new entrepreneurs that maybe haven't thought about it except for maybe the last 18 months. These are
Right.
these are newer entrepreneurs. Are you starting to see a common thing? Maybe if you can offer advice to say, well, I'm seeing this problem, but here's what often gets missed. Does that question make sense?
Yep. Yes. And it even with the Great Resignation and all these people coming into business, if we remember 2008, there was a downturn in the economy,
Yep.
and so a lot of people went off on their own to do their own business. Then, now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever happens, we will always have these pockets of people deciding that they want to start their own business, and that's wonderful. One, do you want a side hustle to make extra money, which is fabulous, or do you want to start your own business? So you need to determine that, and you don't have to. It doesn't have to be a full-time business right away. You don't have to quit your job, risk your home, risk everything to start a business. It can always start as a side hustle, but determine in the beginning, how much do I want this to grow? Two, don't follow the trends. Don't follow the trends. So, in 2005, 6, 7, when real estate was going up and up and up and up and up, you could not spin around in a room without hitting 10 realtors because everybody wanted to be on the real estate bandwagon. None of them were making money except the ones that had been there before and understood the market and understood all these things. Don't jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, that's
Really,
your area of expertise. Sure. Yeah.
it's
Makes
not
sense.
your area of expertise. Really, truly evaluate where your strengths and your weaknesses are. Ask a friend. Ask that blunt friend. Candy, you and I bounce these things off of each other all the time because we're perfectly blunt with each other.
Yeah.
And you need that. You need somebody to go, uh, and you say to me all the time, and it's the truth. I squirrel. I, I start to do something, and then I'm like, there, there's the next shiny object, and being reminded of that
You're
is
basically a corgi.
right. I'm a corgi in a human body. But to be reminded of that is not mean, is not disconcerting. It's just, oh yeah, I've got to look out for that.
An observation or a truth that maybe you don't see in yourself because you're used to operating that way. Sure. Yeah.
Exactly. So, do what you know how to do. And I think the biggest thing is to create a plan. It doesn't have to be an in-depth going to the bank to get a $20,000 or $100,000 whatever loan. It just needs to be, if I do this, what is mine to do? And that, so that's part of the problem. What is mine to do? What do I really need to invest in someone else to do? And how am I going to take what I do and make money out of
Know where you need help and seek it. Yeah.
it? And people most people are like, okay, I can do my own website. I can do my own logo design. And they'll go online and they'll try to do it. It looks like poop. Come on, people, it looks like poop.
If
And
you don't design websites, yeah, hire someone who does. Yeah.
right. And you've just wasted time. Case in point, another one of my clients, she wanted to do her own website. Okay, great. Our next session, did you do it yet? No, I'm blah 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 blah. Did you do it yet? Well, I spent some time. Let me see it. What'd you do? Well, I looked at it and okay, give it to me. Give it to me. I will give it to one of my people. You need to invest the money into having somebody else design the website. We're not talking, tens of thousands of dollars. Whatever your budget is, you need to find someone who will work in that budget You need to give them the best information you can and have them do it. Same thing with a logo. I like this. I think this is pretty. I saw this. I'm going to copy this. No, you've got to evaluate, who does my logo appeal to?
And
P.S.
hire a graphic designer if you don't do graphic design. That's what we
Your
did for
logo,
Corgi Town.
exactly. And the Corgi Town logo is absolutely adorable. Your logo, mostly because it had an adorable mascot to,
Chuckles.
yes, but it's not what you like. It's what will appeal to the person that is that you're attracting. So for everybody who is doing the mass resignation, maybe not resign, maybe not quit right now, maybe think this through,
Have a plan.
because in another 6 to 12 months, and this is going to happen. So, you're looking at this 5 years from now, from when we're recording this, you're watching this, and there's the next thing that occurs. Think it through. What do you do better than anybody else? How can you take your skills, your idea, whatever it is that you do, and make it into a business? There's a big difference between the fact that you are good at moving this pen from this hand to this hand, and somebody pays you a paycheck every week to move this pen from this hand to this hand. There's something before and there's something after that allows this to be a profitable thing for this company.
Yeah, everything has a
Don't make
formula. Yeah, everything has a formula from your most basic to your involved. Well, Kat, thank you so much for that. I don't want to take up all. I know you have clients as well, so we don't want to
Yep.
take up your whole evening.
Thank you.
But I will be sure that in the comments section of these episodes that we will have your contact information as well. And you can always go to our website. Kat's our executive producer, and you can fill out our intake form there at corgitownusa.com, and we will be sure and make sure that Kat reaches out to you to help you.
Yes.
And we've kind of given you a great baseline here. Have a plan, get legal counsel, purchase the domain name if you like it, incorporate properly with legal counsel. That's the biggest thing. And hire a business coach. Hire Kat to help you. She's wonderful. And she'll tell you like it is as well. So there's not many places for soft landing in business. It's not necessarily a friendly thing to be entrepreneurship. I think I've covered it.
Not everybody gets a trophy in entrepreneurship. You
No.
may have gotten a trophy when you played soccer as a kid, but not in entrepreneurship. And the fall can be really, really hard. So be prepared for it.
Yeah, but hopefully not. And with the right coach's help.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
Even when you fail, even when it doesn't work out, it is flippin' fun. And then you just pick yourself up and go on to the next thing. So.
And you learn. It's one of my favorite quotes is the even champions take a beating. So, even if you are good at a great many things and you've done something and it didn't turn out the way you hoped or wasn't exactly what you thought, dust yourself off. If you're bruised and bleeding, you learn at least. You're hurting, your ego's bruised. Get a reward from it. What did you learn?
Right.
What did you learn from this experience? So that's one of my favorite. So again, this is Kat Cohen, our executive producer and business coach. We love to have you help her get in touch with us. I'm sure she'll do a consultation for you if you need it. Any final thoughts, Kat?
Just go out there and do it. Just, from the lemonade stand. Yeah, here's my final thought. Lemonade stand. That's why it popped into my head. Encourage your kids to be entrepreneurs. Encourage your kids to do that lemonade stand, to shovel that snow, to go to the other neighbors and pick up the dog poop in the yard for a price. Whether or not your children become entrepreneurs, the lessons that you learn as a child, that's how I started in my parents' shoe store. The lessons that you learn as a child entrepreneur will take you through the most awesome, amazing life and create a strength in you that nothing else can. That's my final words.
Wonderful. I love it. Well, thanks again so much, Kat, for everything. And Kat and I are here for you every Thursday. All things Corgi, pet lifestyle, including for the pet Corgi-preneur. That's my new word I'm going to use today.
Corgi-preneur. I love it.
Corgi-preneur. And thank you so much for following us again every Thursday. Kat, Candy, Digby, Wiggin, Chuckles, Mortimer, Hammer, and Booger. Hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. Good night.